Most of the schools waiving the fees are in the state of Alabama, but they aren't the only ones. Joining them are some other schools across the southeastern United States. The goal here is to see an increase in post-secondary education and to help students get there. Kinsley? Just days after that story, Myron Johnson, a passionate farmer, was in a crash crossing from field to field. Johnson is a fourth-generation farmer and owner of Double J Farms near Headland. Kinsley, I spoke to two nearby residents who walked me through the heartbreak and shock. Now, those two residents are wanting to stay anonymous due to safety concerns, and until more answers are given, all they know is the tragedy they witnessed. College application season is here for high school seniors, and if you can remember anything about how that feels, it can be pretty stressful. The stress is coming not just from getting materials in, but for paying for each application. Alabama's College Application Week works to relieve that stress. But once you open those front doors and head inside, you'll find that the sections and shelves look a little bit different. Let's see if it passes the Friday Night Foodies taste test. Oh yeah. And if you've ever wondered how NASCAR pit crews can change tires like these in a matter of seconds, well, the Dothan City School students at the field trip were able to see it in action. Now, if you can see behind me, there are multiple bullet holes in a window at the crime scene. I spoke with one resident down the street who says she was awoken at about 2 a.m., hearing at least 5 gunshots. She's not even 18 yet, but says this has been one of the most traumatic and heartbreaking experiences she's ever been through. While some schools were out for fall break, many students chose to spend one of their recent days learning how STEM and agriculture go hand in hand. Enterprise High School hosted the Agri-STEM Expo, an open house giving high schoolers a look into the math, science, and engineering needed for farming careers. The winner is Little Miss Dothan, Olivia Ryan Redmond. Congratulations to her and all of the girls who competed. Former President Donald Trump is campaigning in Arizona, and Vice President Kamala Harris is in North Carolina today. As the race for the White House is just over 3 weeks away, Natalie Brandt reports from Washington. Turning to weather, parts of the U.S. getting an early taste of winter. The Alabama legislative session is 4 months away, and one of the items expected to be on the agenda is parents' rights over their children's health care decisions. The bill would prohibit a child from getting vaccines without written consent from a parent or guardian. Coming up, what many are calling an engineering milestone. More on SpaceX's recent success after the break. Plus, NASA's upcoming launch to New Frontiers, what they say could be one of the most promising places for life beyond Earth. When we come back.
A shooting in Hartford this weekend left 3 people injured. People who live nearby say they are still processing what happened so close to their home. News 4's Lily O'Brien is in the Hartford neighborhood now. So, Lily, how are neighbors feeling tonight?
Kinsley, I spoke to two nearby residents who walked me through the heartbreak and shock. Now, those two residents are wanting to stay anonymous due to safety concerns, and until more answers are given, all they know is the tragedy they witnessed.
I heard 3 gunshots.
Those gunshots injured 3 people in a shooting in Hartford late Saturday night and left neighbors in shock.
And I laid down and I thought that couldn't be, because I've been here a year and there's been no trouble except just regular neighborhood stuff, you know.
Before this weekend, she felt safe in her own home. Knowing what's happened less than a block from her front door, she tells me that's changed. She worries for the safety of her grandchildren, who often ride their bikes up and down the street.
For them to have to pass the house over and over and over, and me not knowing who's there, what's going on, it worries me, yes, very much so.
Now, if you can see behind me, there are multiple bullet holes in a window at the crime scene. I spoke with one resident down the street who says she was awoken at about 2 a.m., hearing at least 5 gunshots. She's not even 18 yet, but says this has been one of the most traumatic and heartbreaking experiences she's ever been through. And how does it feel waking up and finding out what happened?
I'm living in the wrong place. And I imagine that's the way a lot of people feel.
The investigation is ongoing, and so is the anxiety felt in the homes of those nearby.
We don't know if they caught the shooters. We don't know anything.
As of Monday morning, no suspects are in custody.
and residents hope to have answers sooner rather than later.
Geneva County Sheriff Tony Helms told News4 on Sunday the victims were transported to nearby hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. The residents I spoke to today are grateful for at least that, because when they heard the gunshots, they assumed the worst. In Hartford, I'm Lily O'Brien, your hometown news leader.
Lily O'Brien, thank you for sharing that report. This investigation is ongoing. Dothan City Schools is putting an extra emphasis on the STEM field, along with the different places students can find those opportunities. News4's Lily O'Brien went along for the ride as students learned new skills to speed up their success.
The majority of kids just have no idea what are the various places that they can end up. So it's important to expose them at an early age to all things STEM.
In partnership with Microsoft, RCX Sports Foundation, and the Alabama Collective, 50 Dothan City Schools students explored new skills and opportunities.
We're focused on elevating minority tech talent and entrepreneurs. So our partnership with RCX Sports is to raise that awareness of STEM activities and STEM exposure for all students.
It's part of a 2-day field trip, fueling inspiration and ambition in high schools. The main focus of this field trip is motorsports and the STEM possibilities within it.
This event has been beyond life-changing for some of these kids.
Before walking through the front doors, some of the kids had never even touched AI before. Now they're able to use Microsoft Copilot and generative AI to generate their own NASCAR team and branding.
And if you've ever wondered how NASCAR pit crews can change tires like these in a matter of seconds, well, the Dothan City School students at the field trip were able to see it in action.
Not only that, they were able to do it themselves. Separated into groups, they learned the mechanics behind one of the most pivotal pieces of a NASCAR race.
It's important for our kids to know and be exposed to each and every opportunity as well.
Izell Reese is the CEO of RCX Sports Foundation, one of the field trip's partnering organizations. He's also a Dothan native who, after his time in the NFL, is looking to give back to the community that raised him.
If I can do it, you can do it too. And that being whatever it is you want to do, whether it's being like Rajan, being a race car driver, being an engineer, learning about tech, aspiring to be a professional athlete, I think the sky's the limit.
In Dothan, I'm Lily O'Brien, your hometown news leader.
The fun isn't over for these kids as they head to Talladega tomorrow to experience what for many of them will be their first NASCAR race ever.